the first thing we need to do is create our health inside our third person character, or whatever character you're using. So if you go into a third person blueprints, third person character, go to variables, add a variable, name this health, and we need to change the variable type to a float. Now if we make this instance editable, compile and save, if we select our character in the game, you can see in the details panel, we go down to default, our health is there. So we could set this to 20. This means when we're creating our levels, it'll be easier for us to adjust our character's health when we're balancing the game. So now we need to create our health pickup. So go to content, right click and create a new folder. Name this health pickup or whatever you want to name it. Right click again, go to blueprint class. I'm going to create an actor blueprint. Name this health pickup so we know what it is. Double click on this, go to the top left and add a component. We're going to add a static mesh. We'll change this to the 1 meter cube for now. You can change this later. Shrink this down. Now we need to create a box collision, so back up to components, box collision. This is going to check if our character is in the proximity of our box. Scale this up so it's outside the static mesh. And finally we'll add some rotating movement. So click simulate, you can see it just rotates. Compile and save. Now if we go into our event graph, just at the top here, we can start blueprinting. So let's get rid of these. Select your box collision, go to details, and we'll search for on component begin overlap. So this is going to check when our character enters the box. So off the exec, I'm going to cast to third person character, or if you're using a different character, cast to that character and whatever its name is. So off of object, look up to other actor, and then we're going to, off the blue node here, going to search for get health. And then we're going to search for float plus float. So when a character overlaps, it's going to add to whatever our character's health is already set at. And then we're going to search for set health. So when our character overlaps with the box collision, we're going to get the health, we're going to add to it, and then it's going to set it. And then finally, we want to destroy actor. So when it overlaps, we want it to give the illusion that it's picked it up, so it will disappear, we'll destroy it. But before we do that, actually, Alt and left click to detach this. We want to print string, so we can check if this is working. So this up like this. So when it's overlapping with the third person character, it's going to get the health, add this amount, and then destroy the actor. So at the moment, to change the amount we want to add already to the character's health, we'd have to keep going into this blueprint. But if we go to variables and create our own variable inside the actor, so we'll name this amount, change the variable type to a float again, like we did with the third person character. If we make this instance editable, then drag our variable in and get amount, just hook it up, compile and save. We drag this in, the same as the third person character. We can go to details. With your health pickup selected, we can go to details, and then in default we can change the amount, so we can change how much this will add, how much health it'll add to our third person character. So if I change this to something like 5, our character's health is 20, so when I overlap it, you'll see in the top left hand corner it'll add 5, making it 25, But at the moment, if I drag more in, remember to set the ones you drag in, or you can just copy and paste. So 25, 30, 35, you can see it's exceeding our max health. So we need to change that. So if we go back into our health pickup, detach plus from set health, alt and left click, just drag this over to make some space. We need to clamp our max health at 20. So if we drag off here, search for clamp, and it's clamp float. So we want our minimum to be 0, we want our max to be the same as our character's health. So change this to 20, and just hook it up, compile and save. So now if we play test, it'll stay at 20. So if I change my character's health to say 10, just copy and paste another health, so Control C, Control V, play, it should go 15, 20, 20, and you can see it stays at 20 now, but we can still pick these up. So we don't want this because our player might want to save a health pick, he might want to return, he doesn't want to keep picking them all up every time he overlaps with them, even though he's got max health. So we can do this. If we go back into our health pickup, we want to detach, cast the third person character, just drag this over. We want to get our health, our character's health, and then drag off. I want less than or equal to, so this float here, less than or equal to. So we want to make this so if it's less than or equal to 19, we can pick up. So if it's 20, if it's greater than this, we won't be able to pick the health pickup up. So if we right click and search for branch, let's hook this up. And then we want if it's less than or equal to 19, if this is true, we want to be able to pick up our health. So compile and save, And now should go 15, 20, and then we can't pick up our health. So we're bumping into it as I forgot to set no collision to the static mesh. So we just go back into our health pickup, static mesh, and then collision presets, and set it to no collision. Compile and save. And now we'll just walk straight through them. So now we need to create the health bar for the character. So if we select content, right click, create a new folder, we'll name this health bar, and double click on this. We want to right click again, go down to user interface, and we're going to create a widget blueprint, and we'll name this health bar again. So if you double click on this, it'll bring us into the widget blueprint. So the widget blueprint displays information to the player. So it'll display things such as health or ammo, or text to help instruct the player. So things like press E to open door. But we're going to create a health bar. So we want to go to palette in the top left and then select progress bar and just drag this in. We're going to put it in the top left hand corner, or you can put it where you like. Just place it here and just drag it out. And I'm going to make mine a bit smaller so it doesn't obstruct the view of the player. With it selected, we can go to the details on the right again. And then we can change the colour and appearance. So fill, colour and opacity. We double click on this, we can change the colour. So I'll make mine red. Click OK. And then what we're going to want to do is just change the percent to 1. So you can see this is what we're going to adjust using blueprints. So to do this, we'll have to go to bind, and then we're going to create a binding. And here we can start blueprinting. If you want to go back to where the health bar is, you just click designer at the top, and then graph to go back into the blueprints. So we alt and left click, off of get %0, we want to search for cast a third person character, or wherever your health variable is. So it should be in your character. So cast a third person character, and then off of object, we want to get player character. And then what we're going to do is off the blue node, search for get health, or whatever your variable's called. So what we have to do now is search for normalize to range. This is because our health is set at 20. If we go back in the designer, you can see the percent only goes up to 1. So we need to change the range max to 20 and leave the range minimum at 0. And then just hook this up like this. And then hook the third person character to the return node. So compile and save. Everything's in order here. So now we need to go to our third person character. So third person BP, and then third person character, or whatever character you're using. We're going to go into the event graph, and then we want to search for, so we want to right click and search for event begin play. So what this does is it fires an event off as soon as the game begins. And then we want to create our widget. I'll do that again. create widget. So it's this one here. And then change the class to whatever your widget blueprint's called. So mine's health bar. And then what we're going to do is add it to the viewport. So add to viewport, just here. And hook up to the return value to the self. And this will add our widget to the viewport. So you should be able to see it in the top left hand corner now. So if you click play, mine's halfway because I set my character's health to 10. So set it back to 20. And you should see it's full. So if I set it back to 10, you'll see it'll go up when we overlap with our health pickups. So like that. So what we can do now is create some pickups that take health off our character. So if we go to our health pickup folder, and we'll just select our health pickup and duplicate it. Change the name to health decrease so we know what it is. I'm just going here. So all we need to do is we need to get rid of our clamp, get rid of plus, and get rid of our condition. And then off health, drag off and search for float minus float. Then we can hook up our amount and then hook up the minus to health, set health, and just hook up our third person character to set. So now when it overlaps, when our third person character overlaps with our box collision, it's going to take off our set amount and then destroy the actor. So if we compile and save and drag in one of our health decreases and change the amount to say 10 and play, we'll get rid of all our health and we can add to it again with our health pickups. So now we have our pickups that increase our health and our pickups that decrease our health. We want to set up an event where our character can die. So we go into our third person character. In the event graph, right click and search for event tick. So what the event tick does is it fires an event off every frame. So be always checking. So we want to select our health and our variables, drag this in and get health. Drag off, and then search for less than or equal to, float, float. Leave the amount at 0. If you right click and search for branch, hook this up, put the event tick up to the branch, and then off of true, we're going to search for destroy actor. So the event tick will be firing off every frame, checking, and if our health is less than or equal to 0, if this is true, it's going to destroy our character. So if we compile and save, so I'm just checking the amount on my health decrease, which is 10. Just copy and paste some. Checking my character's health, it's 20. If I play, knock my health down from 20 to 10, and from 10 to 0, which will destroy my character.